All right, friends. Hello and welcome to From A to Z. It's an Aavegotchi podcast. It's a little bit of an unorthodox taping today, but I'll be taking the reins. ZombieShepherd is at Art Basel, enjoying the good times and the events and the folks down there. So I'm going to fill in here. It should be a fairly short show tonight. Um, Not a lot of updates on my end, at least with the Thanksgiving weekend. It was pretty busy, but we've got some updates on the A to Z side. We've got some cool updates coming from the Aavegotchi side, and then there's a whole list of DAO proposals ready for voting over the next couple of days. So if you're watching this very close to the time of recording, all of them should still be open for voting. I believe the first one closes about 25 hours from now. So if you are interested in getting your vote in, getting some XP for your gotchis, head over to the snapshot and make sure you take care of all those votes. Let me jump right into the show notes here. All right. So I'm not into football or soccer, depending on where you are in the world, but apparently the entire world is. And I can't reach anybody. It's like the internet has taken the week off. So I was just wondering, what's up? What am I missing? What do I need to know? What do I need to watch? So I just wanted to check in on that. Aavegotchi ecosystem updates. Seems like we can roll right into those. Start off with the turkey chase. So first off, last Saturday at the Hangout, we had our turkey chase, and we got to test some new PvE mechanics. It was very similar to the pumpkin smash, but with different mechanics on the enemy side. They moved faster, they responded differently, and we tried a couple of different rounds. Coder Dan walked us through the settings. I don't remember exactly what they were, but some of the rounds had fewer turkeys with higher hit points. Some of the rounds had more turkeys with lower hit points. They were tweaking the health regen bar on the turkeys, so they were getting a lot of good data. And I think it's prepping us well for what's coming in the PvP space. Hoping that'll be by end of year. Seems to be what they're expecting, but we'll see how it goes. Fake gotchis. There's always something new in fake gotchi land. The queue is popping off. We've got new pieces coming through that are passing the queue, posted for sale, minted, and there's a few that have passed the queue and have not yet minted and are leaving everyone in suspense. I know Dark Farms was one of those, but that piece was minted, I believe, just this week, and distribution is yet to be announced. There was a hint dropped on Twitter. Dark Farms had said, hint Miami, so there may be some release information coming from Art Basel. We'll just have to wait and see. I know the Baskek piece was released. I know, the Giab. Unfamiliar with the artist, but I liked that looks fake. I grabbed one of those. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of new stuff coming through, and the second batch of flagged pieces has been purged. They were flagged for review. Pixelcraft reviewed them. They're gone. Those cards get burned, and those artists are going to have to try again or find a different piece. But the queue is working. The queue is keeping things clean. Keep an eye on that. Also, there are fake gotchi giveaways all over the place. If you're watching Twitter at all, if you're paying attention, if you're following along, there's all sorts of artists who are trying I'm going to drop my very first one on Twitter with a drawing, draw up some hype. There's a lot of opportunities to get in on some drawings for free fake gotchis. I know Gotchi Bulls has 2 out right now. And I think 8-Bit has one. It's worth checking out. If you're looking for fakes and you're struggling to come up with the funds to get them, try for some freebies, Throw some memes up, make some posts, tell your friends, get on Twitter and interact with those giveaways. There is a chance for free gotchis. Free fake gotchis, I should say, not free gotchis. And then, I guess, finally, from A to Z, we are leaning in. It's the bear market. We're building at the bottom. We're doing what we can. We're still here. We're still sticking around. A to Z now has a lens handle. Moving on up in the social networking world, we've got a multi-sig address. we're about to be a regular important group that can accept potentially sponsors. We're looking for revenue generation ideas in the new year, and we're hoping to really leverage A to Z and the existing other podcasts, D420 and the Zombie Time Music Hour. We're really trying to get GMI on the map this coming year. So stay tuned, stick around. Big things are coming. On that note, I couldn't help myself. Black Friday deals, some of them were just too good, and there was a no-brainer cheapy clip-on like face light for streaming. So I picked up a couple of stream lights because I don't really like how my setup is working right now. But for $20, shoot, if I can up my game, easy. So I got a couple of those coming in the mail. I should have a little bit of a different lighting situation for next week. And if you notice, my camera is the same, but I've got a different setup. I was cropping it before, running it through OBS, had some weird virtual cam things going on. But this is straight raw cam feed. A little bit wider than I'm used to. I don't always have the whole room exposed, but it seems to be crisp, seems to be a little bit more clear. I think I like it. We're going to give it a test and see how it shows up in the recording, but doing some minor adjustments, getting things ready for a super 2023. And if you would like to support us in our endeavors in upping our game here at A to Z, we do have a new merch store. Zimtimo and GMI have partnered to create the first merch store. It features short period of time drops. We don't know when we're going to pull the pieces that are there. We don't know when new pieces are coming up yet. But they are limited time. Once they're posted, they're posted. Once they're removed, they're gone. So if you are interested in supporting us that way and you see some cool new merch on the merch store that you like, I'm going to drop a link in chat here. And you can come on through. Artwork, I believe, was done by Gerline. And right now we've got two options, GMI shirt and the really cool Zimtimo mug. This mug is my new go-to for my tea, typically. Right now it's in the sink dirty, so I've got my other cat mug. That might be coming through backwards, but it says, I work hard so my cat can have a better life. And it's unfortunately true. But if you're interested in supporting us that way, we would appreciate it, and the merch is pretty dope. I love the new mug, and the shirt is probably the most comfortable shirt I own, so keep an eye on that. And moving into the main discussion, we have a tsunami of core and sig props for the Aavegotchi DAO that need to be gone through, and there's a lot of big changes happening. Just had a big batch of changes. Now we're looking to potentially narrow down and implement another big batch of changes. So it's important that you vote. Plus you get your XP for your gotchis. First up, let's see. I miss the back and forth. I miss Zombie. Zombie, I miss you. I miss the banter bit. This is a lot more fun when it's a conversation. Should work on guest hosts. Maybe guest hosts is the play. Get some community cameos in here. I'll put it in the notes. All right. First one up is a SIG prop, and this one is to create the ATF, the Arcade Task Force. I am sharing my screen, so you should be able to see that in the Discord recording. Looks like it's coming through the correct direction. Excellent. All right, so this first one, it's a little bit different than it was originally. This SIG prop was posted and never reached quorum. I believe back in June it said. But a small amendment has been made. The original AGIP to set aside the funding for the ATF never initially said that that funding could be used to purchase additional rewards off the bazaar. The amendment with this proposal allows for that to be the case. In addition to being able to fund rewards for these games and purchase them from the bazaar, they've also had the 100,000 ghost allocation staked since since these funds were set aside for the ATF originally. And over those months, over that time, the funds have accrued Friends points. Friends were cashed in for tickets, and drop tickets were entered into the fake Gotchi drawing a few weeks back. As a result, the ATF now holds 87 fake Gotchi burn cards to be used as player rewards. And the post discusses a couple different ways that could be done, but it's exciting. It could be a potential situation where like the top 100 on a leaderboard all get a copy of this fake Gotchi that's minted for that game specifically. So there's a lot of potential there. If this sounds like something that you're interested in and think that might be helpful or healthy for our ecosystem, get on down there and vote on that SIG prop. If this one can reach quorum, which it looks like it already has, we'll be ready to go to core prop in no time. But I think it's time for an ATF myself. I think we finally have some traction. We've got some community members back on track, ready to put in the time, put in the effort, develop those games. It's just a matter of funding. So they're setting it all up now and getting it officialized. If you're interested in that, make sure to go through and vote your support there. Next one, we've got Agit 50 to create the Aavegotchi DAO Foundation. There's been a lot of talk about this. If you haven't heard about this yet, probably haven't been following too closely in the ecosystem because this is all the rage. Right now, what Aavegotchi DAO wants to do is set itself up a foundation and formalize in order to create some distance between between Pixelcraft and the DAO, and to like get a legal structure going so it's a little bit more legit. As a result of creating the Aavegotchi DAO Foundation, a board of directors of 9 members would need to be elected, and then from that also a president, treasurer, and secretary. So this kind of splits into 2 AGIPs here. First one is, should we create the Aavegotchi DAO Foundation or not? Got a yes-no vote there. It looks like quorum has already been reached on that as well. None of these, I'll come back to that. So it looks like quorum has reached. Community is strongly in favor of yes on this one. If you haven't gone through to vote on that, don't forget to do that. Looks like it ends December 4th, so we have a couple days left on that one. But should we create the Aavegotchi DAO Foundation, yes or no, is awaiting your input. Agit 51 assumes 50 is going to pass and begins to nominate the 9 electors, or begins to elect the 9 directors. There we go. So, assuming 50 passes, and it looks like it will, 51 will also apply. Given the fact that it looks like this is going to be a for sure thing, I would recommend that you get your voices heard on who should be these 9 elected directors. These directors will be the multi-sig signers. They'll be compensated. I believe it's 2,000 ghost every 90 days for a total of 8,000 ghost a year to take on that legal and administrative responsibility. And you can vote, or you can weight your votes. Let's see, where's the scroll? There we go. So you can weight your votes to determine how strongly you support each individual nominee, I suppose. So if you really want, for example, Crypto Gotchi to get in there, you can put 50% of your vote weight here and then split the other 50% of your vote weight between 8 other people or 2 other people, or you can vote all in on one person. This is kind of a cool voting mechanic on Snapshot, but it's a little bit weird if you haven't experienced it yet. So regardless of all those things, I would recommend that you go experience this vote. Try out the tool, have your voice heard, get your XP. Again, the vault hasn't voted on this. I don't think that's again. In all of these cases, the vault has not yet voted. I did go through to the vault snapshots to find kind of where the votes were headed, but none of their votes have been placed as of yet. So if this is something you're interested in, head over to the snapshot and place your votes for the 9 directors. I'll note that I'm on this list, but don't vote for me. I have since reconsidered and withdrawn, so support somebody else with your vote weight if you are thinking of delegating to me. Thank you, fams. Hey, Goobs is in the house. Welcome, sir. Zombies at Art Basel tonight, so I'm running a short show. I prepped a little review of the SIG prop and the AGIPs. So if you're interested in chipping in, chiming in, sharing your thoughts, I'm all ears. Just unmute and stop me. Rolling through these like a train. So that is that for the AGIP 51. I found it a little interesting comparing the community picks to the vault picks. I own a whole 4 VLT, so I like to use those vote weights sometimes. And I was just curious to see where those vault votes were leaning, since none of them have been submitted yet. In this case, it looks fairly close, but there are some interesting differences between the community picks and the vault picks. If you're interested, you can dig into those as well. Next up, AGIP 52. Rarity farming. This one's interesting. So the idea behind AGIP 52 is to launch Rarity Farming Season number 5 in line with the Forge release. So it would be released after the Forge has been set up and launched and established. Likely sometime probably mid-January, I think is the speculation there. See, it looks like there was a small change between the initial SIG prop and this core prop here. The SIG prop had incorrectly indicated that the 1.5 million Ghost reward pool was to be funded by the Pixelcraft Player Rewards wallet, I believe, and it has been since corrected to reflect the DAO Treasury. So if we are to launch Rarity Farming Season 5, it would be under the assumption that 1.5 million of the DAO's 5 million Ghost would be deployed all at once. The proposed split for the reward tiers are 70% of the rewards would go into the BRS ranking, 20% into kinship ranking, and 10% into XP ranking. I believe this is in line with previous rarity farming seasons where 30%, the top 7,500 gotchis got 30% of the rewards, and then it was a long tail of rewards for the rest of players. Indeed. And it says right here, to be launched after the deployment of the Forge. So few things in motion. We're trying to do one at a time, it looks like. Cool. And then the last one, this is a pretty short proposal. A couple of lines here. The last one is AGIP 53. You can channel Alchemica by burning kinship. The SIG prop on this one passed. It's gone to core prop, and it's already reached quorum. Looks like currently the community is in favor. This is a yes vote, 61 to 39% in favor. And again, the Vault has not voted on this. In terms of details, I should probably back up a little bit. In terms of details of this proposal, it would be a change to how kinship mechanics work. The idea right now is you can earn 2 kinship points per day if you pet your Gotchi twice a day, or you lose 1 kinship point if you don't pet your Gotchi at all. Okay, so those stay in place. The new mechanic is you lose 4 kinship every time you channel. So this introduces a whole new, strategy in should I take my UBI today, or should I let the kinship pile up for other options, for other rewards, for other in-game usage? It's interesting. To me, I feel like it would free up the leaderboards. We've had leaderboards for rarity farming that have been kind of stale. They don't move very much because if you're holding a top BRS Gotchi, you're still going to be holding that top BRS Gotchi for the next round. With kinship being adjustable in this way, now folks who may never have had kinship rarity farming rewards can opt out of channeling and boost their kinship to potentially earn rarity farming rewards. It's up to each individual player then to balance how they'd like to approach it. So right now, currently, the community is in favor. It's a 61% yes vote. I believe, let's see, the vault may be a heavy no vote on that. So when that vault vote comes through, this may swing. I'm going to verify that right now.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, Goobs.
I like that one. I really like that proposal with
The kinship one.
just to mess with the kinship, you know?
I do
It
too.
gamifies kinship a lot, and I feel like that stage of this has been a little bit boring recently, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you. I like this kinship proposal actually more than any of the other channeling proposals. If I could have picked just one to implement, this is the one that I would have picked. But community has decided to do everything all at the same time, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, eh?
It's going to be some changes for sure. I don't think people are really going to know what to do with the market for a little while. I think Alchemica is going to be wonky.
Yeah, there might even be props like later on after all these pass to like merge a couple of them, right? And like
or reverse them or alter variables. Yeah, all of these are just different levers that we can pull as a DAO to try to stabilize the emissions and sinks on Alchemica. This proposal should cut inflation by about 50%, Yannick says. So let me get that.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to chime in here with you.
No, you're good. No, this is perfect. No worries. You're totally good. I kind of hoped this would be a discussion anyway, especially with Zombie out of town. The show goes pretty quick when you're running it solo, it turns out. I'm 28 minutes in, and I've just burnt my whole notes.
I meant to jump in earlier. I just couldn't. I couldn't get here.
No worries, man. No worries. Zombie popped in for a minute. He gave me a quick little phone tour of where he's at. He's enjoying some drinks and hanging out with the Lens team. So,
oh, wicked. Good for him.
Cool stuff. Yeah, I hope he comes back with some merch, some stickers. I don't know, some extra stickers. I told him I'll fund any size parcel you want to send me. Find me some merch.
Oh yeah, Zimtimo's doing big things right now with the merch and stuff.
Big things, and A to Z's leaning into some big things. We got Lens handle, multi-sig, potentially thinking sponsors for 2023. We're looking big. We're looking up. I think.
Hell yeah, way to go, guys! That's awesome.
GMI is going to be a big deal in a couple of years here, if we have anything to say about it, at least. So, I guess that's that on the DAO votes. I did go through all these before the call, so I've got a good familiarity with them all. If you have questions, let me know. If you've got comments, let me know. I want to double check on that vault vote. Nothing has been placed in terms of votes from the vault on any of these yet, but I did go into keep current mechanics. Yes. Okay. So this vote in the vault is worded slightly differently than the one that's on the Aavegotchi DAO snapshot. For Agate 53, this top yes vote is implement the original channeling mechanics, which includes this -4 kinship change. So the current vote yes is to implement -4 kinship. In the vault, the top vote is to keep the current mechanics with a 72%. So that 72% will lead to a no vote from the vault, weighted at, I think, like 6 million ghost. So if that's the case, this will swing to a no, and that's decided. But you can still vote and get your XP, I guess. Not comfortable with that one, but it is what it is.
Yeah, they only need like 20% quorum, right, too?
All of these. Yep, these are all set up for 20% quorum. As of right now, without the vault vote on any of them, they have all reached quorum.
Yeah, I feel like that should be higher.
There's some talk about that. There is some talk. And I would tend to agree. If we have this many active people and we are not struggling to reach quorum on anything, might be a good time to move it up. I have not experienced a need for this outside of Aavegotchi DAO, so this is a good sign as far as I'm concerned in terms of just voter participation. In Bankless DAO, we keep having to move it down. We have to keep reducing quorum because we're struggling to reach the number we need to get things done. So seeing that this is easily meeting quorum feels good. And like you said, it is only a 20% quorum, so it's not like it's requiring a huge percentage of the voters. But we're reaching it. So I hope there's discussion soon in the DAO and another proposal coming through to increase that quorum number. I would get behind that.
Yeah, me too. I'm not near as caught up on all this as you are, so my bad. I don't have too much to say on it all, but you're enlightening me on a lot of it, so I appreciate this.
That's the goal. That's the goal. I know most people don't have time to go through all this, and typically I don't either. If I didn't have to do this for the show, I'd probably miss it too. So, I mean, we got time too. I can go over, if you've got questions, I can go over other aspects of these props as well. But I'm also open for DMs or questions after the fact if you've got questions. No worries there. But in
if I
terms
think
of
of anything, I won't hesitate.
Oh, what's that?
I just said if I think of anything that I'm curious about, I won't hesitate to ask. I appreciate it.
Perfect. In terms of topics that I had ready for the show, I've got them all covered. I missed the banter. I missed the combo, the back and forth. It's a little different without it. So at this point, I'll open up the floor. If you or Pablo have anything to add, any new exciting updates, anything you want to plug, projects, anything like that, now's a good time. Otherwise, I think we can I'll go into the summary recap here and we'll close up the recording early and we can just hang out. Cool.
Yeah, I got nothing to add, man.
All right, man. All right, well, that's it for the updates. We're going to have a lot coming, and it's going to be a busy season. It's holiday season. It's already going to be busy. But stay tuned. We've got Zombie Time Music Hour on Friday. That will be right after District 420, and at the same time, we got to work on this. At the same time, Gotchi Mafia will have their weekly poker event. That's 7 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Friday's a big lineup. Got the District 420, Gotchi Mafia Poker. We've got Zombie Hour Music Time, the GMI Syncopator, all running together for a whole evening of entertainment. Come on through. GMI's got you covered.
Yeah, we have talks of moving our event as well because, to not clash with everyone else. And it's just we had this 3-month tourney going on with the bounties, and then we have a different bounty every month kind of thing or whatever. So we started that around the same time we were planning on moving the time for and just because we're doing this whole tournament thing, I didn't want to move the time just to throw people off. Yeah. So like beginning of the new year, we're 100% we're moving the time, and then we're all gonna join everyone's everything,
Yes, awesome. And then that way I'll be able to actually get back in on poker because I've been covering for a lot of Zombie Time Music Hour and prepping for other stuff during that time. So it's been tough for me to get to that poker slot, but I miss it. I was having fun. So if you move it, let me know. I'll be back.
Definitely. Yeah, you've been busy, man. I've been watching. You've been crushing it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You and Zombie.
Yeah, Zombie for sure. This last weekend was a little rough for me IRL, and I was really thankful to have Zombie support just in terms of like just emotional and professional support there to encourage further success. And yeah, I love this team, and I'm really happy with my Gotchiverse friends. So I feel like I'm in the right place.
That's all you need. Yeah, GMI is a fam for sure.
That's right.
Gotchi Gang is a fam.
Sure
all right, bro.
Is.
I'm out. Thank you very much. I'm going to catch the recap on the recording and stuff like that.
Perfect. Sounds good. I think I'm going to wrap it up here anyway. So thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
No worries, man. Take care. Thank you.
Cool. All right, friends. I think that's pretty much it for this episode here. We went over quite a few of those DAO proposals. If you haven't gone and voted, get in there, get your XP, get your voices heard, see what you think. we're all here together to determine the direction of this ecosystem, and it's important that everybody has a say. We got a bunch of fun stuff planned on Friday. Definitely come on through, and hopefully we'll see you then, and we'll see you at the next episode of From A to Z. Thanks again for coming through, everybody. I appreciate it. Have a great night.